Hi, welcome to Church Communications. I'm Katie Allred, and I'm the founder of Church Communications. I'm excited today to be joined by our friend and partner, Christian Taylor with MySeminarNotes.com. We're going to jump into a lot of really fun stuff today, and I'm just really excited to share with you this really cool product and kind of what they're doing and how they're helping the church grow. So, Christian, thanks for being on here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your story and just about what My Sermon Notes is and how it helps the church?
Yeah, so My Sermon Notes is a discipleship-oriented church app, and you can kind of think of it like a digital bulletin in a nutshell. So it's got everything you might want in a bulletin, fill in the blank sermon notes, and that's our passion, as you'll catch on to through the stream. But we've got fill in the blank sermon notes, interactive prayer requests with comments, push notification announcements, and a whole customizable section so you can add any tabs or images or info that you want.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so why are you focusing on sermon notes exclusively?
Yeah, so that's a great question. For us, it was like we were, as churchgoers, we were sitting in church services and we attended a church that had paper fill in the blank notes and we loved it. I know it's kind of dependent on what kind of learner you are, but for us
Sure.
personally, the other co-founder and me being in our churches, getting paper fill in the blank notes
Yeah.
was really helpful for us to really tune into the message, learn, what they're saying. But we were like, why is this not digital? We're looking around and everyone's looking at their Bible app for the Bible verses, and lots of people have just their regular notes app open on their phone. So we're
Right.
like, what's the deal here? Like this needs to be digital. And so that got us thinking about, hey, we could have digital fill in the blank notes. And then we really started thinking about how in every area of the church tech space, it seems like the tech is kind of inferior for the congregation. Like,
Yeah.
there's tons of tech out there for like CHMS, for organization and backend systems, but when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the experience that the congregation has and having those
Yeah.
engaging features, we felt like maybe there was a gap there, or maybe there was something that we could do better to really enhance that experience.
Yeah, for sure. So, is it purely just sermon notes or is there more to it? I feel like there's a few more features I want you to just chat about.
Yeah, yeah. So sermon notes are our flagship feature, but we do have other features we're excited about as well. We've got an interactive prayer request feature, and that's a really cool one because people can actually go in, submit a prayer request, and we've got like all sorts of privacy settings so you can configure it with whether it needs to be approved or moderated or all of that. But the basic idea is the user submits a prayer request, it can be approved and sent out to the church, and we even have a way for other people to leave comments. So it's almost like a Facebook group, but within your own app. So you don't have all the distractions of Facebook or all the other noise going on there. And we've really taken that and applied it to everything in the app. So we've got push notification announcements. You could send out devotionals or have links to Zoom Bible studies, or really any sort of way that you want to engage with your congregation or have them respond during the service or at any time in the week. There's a way for you to do that with My Sermon Notes.
Okay, that's awesome. That's definitely even more than what I knew it did. So that's incredible, Christian. I love that. Okay, so how have you seen the church shift in the digital space since I don't know, since all of this started happening?
Yeah, it's been really interesting for us. When we started our platform, we had a lot of churches excited about it, but we also had some churches say, hey, this is great. We think this is so cool, but we have an older congregation and they don't really use tech, or they're not really
Right,
interested. They're attached to paper. They'd rather just get the bulletin every week, and that's what they're used to.
right,
And wow, there's just been a crazy shift in the past months. I'm sure everyone knows why and what's going on there, but
right.
now it's shifting where technology is seen as a platform for ministry instead of a tool.
Right.
it's as if it went from like the cool hip tool that the
A
hipster
few people
churches
had.
wanted to have
Right.
to like, whoa, hold on, we can't ignore this anymore. This is a whole platform and a whole new way to do ministry. And for
Right.
many churches still right now, it's the only way they can do ministry.
Right.
So for us, it's been a really exciting shift, and I think an exciting time for anyone to do ministry, because now more than ever, you can really go global with what you're doing and really go outside of your building with your ministry.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that this is such an interesting time to shift and to take, I don't know, a chance. I think we've been kind of stuck in the last few years in doing the same old thing. Um and this has been a really great time of innovation in the church. And I think what y'all are doing is really innovative. So, I guess the next question I have are, what are some ways that churches can achieve discipleship in a socially distant world, right? So everybody's doing small groups differently. We've been talking a lot about that. How do we do small groups well online? What does that look like? And I think you have some thoughts on that. I wanted to hear them.
Yeah, so I think the main way, first of all, is to make sure that you've got a clear call to action for your congregation, a way to really get the message out, whether it's Facebook, email, texting, whatever method you've used as far as technology with your congregation, really have a clear call to action. Hey, this is how we're doing discipleship. These are the small groups you can join, or this is the Bible study we're doing, and really get
Right.
that message out, because now it's almost kind of fragmented, where some
Mm-hmm.
churches are able to open, but not everyone's comfortable coming to services yet. So we've got
Right.
almost like two crowds in a church: those who are going back to the services when they're able to, and those who are saying, hold on, I'm just gonna stay online for a while longer, until things are a little bit more further along with the whole process. So I
Right.
think the first step is really making sure that everyone in your church knows exactly what they can do to stay connected, whether it's online or in person. And one thing I've been thinking about is digital engagement is really important, but it's also important to kind of mimic the whole like in-person ministry and
Right.
response digitally if necessary. Like one prime example is like altar calls or prayer
Right.
requests in person. Like even if churches are able to open, it looks totally different. Maybe somebody goes into the service, they've got their protective equipment on, and they're maybe it's hot, they're kind of not the most comfortable, so like they're
Mm-hmm.
listening to the sermon, they're doing worship, and then as soon as the service is over, they leave. And
Yeah.
so we're reaching this place where it's like, how do we make sure that people's needs are met if they need prayer, if they
Right.
want to join a small group? So having some kind of online form or
Mm-hmm.
prayer request system to get those responses, and have people, a prayer team that will call people and check on them
Yeah.
and pray with them over the phone or Zoom, I think is
Right.
definitely important during this time.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so if churches want to learn more about my sermon notes, they want to start engaging online, as you said, and figure out new different ways to do that, where would they go to do that, Christian?
Yeah, so if they want to learn more about My Sermon Notes, they can just go to our website at mysermonnotes.com. And we offer a 30-day free trial. There's no setup fees, no contracts. So, one thing we're super passionate about is really making it a tool that's affordable for every church and
Right.
accessible to everyone. So, I mean, you could go on there today, you could start your free trial, and you could try everything. You could build out the features of the app. We have a whole set of tutorials online, or we also offer a live Zoom call to help you get started.
Yeah.
And all that's totally free. So you can just go on there, try it out, see if you like it. And if it's something you like, implement it with your church and with your congregation.
Yeah, I think what I love too about this is as an educator, filling out sermon notes, honestly, it does help your brain like connect with the sermon, like it because it really provides a way of active listening. You know, you have to learn, there's like three different ways of learning or whatever. You usually have to read it, like hear it, and then do it. And so I think that this just really helps people like also do while hearing. And so it really does, I feel like, help connect their brain in such a different, unique way. So again, if you want to connect with Christian, you want to connect and find out more, like you said, 30-day trial, that's extremely generous. I think that would be more than enough for you to figure out if this is a great tool for your church. And maybe it's a great way for you to replace your bulletin on a weekly basis. There's so many good things, you know, save some paper, save the Amazon while we're at it. So you can go to MySeminarNotes.com if you want to learn more. And thank you so much, Christian, for hanging out with us today. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right, see you then.